Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. Lots of talk about Sting being involved with WWE in the foreseeable future. A lot of people wanting to know what is up with Sting and his injury that happened at Night of Champions in his match against Seth Rollins. Sting went out there. Honestly, in my mind, I really think he knocked WWE socks off about how over this guy has been. Definitely the guys coming out of the woodwork from WCW have always brought a big number to WWE, whether if it's Goldberg, whether if it's Sting. Being able to see guys cross over and be involved with WWE after never really seeing him there is always really drawn. Whether if you think about the WCW invasion back in 2001, whether you think about Goldberg, Ric Flair coming in 2002, the NWO came in 2002 as well. But somehow, Sting waited all the way until 2014 to make his debut in WWE. From there, he kept on getting involved with Triple H and Seth Rollins. He made his debut at Survivor Series, costing the Authority the match against Team Cena. And went on and had a great match. Really fun between him and Triple H, sort of involving the Monday Night War with the NWO against DX getting involved and it becoming a Team WCW against Team WWE sort of a thing. Triple H got the win. And then from there, they brought Sting back to have a main event match at Night of Champions, trying to hype up the month of September on the WWE Network, seeing how definitely, after SummerSlam, WWE starts to take a huge slump. And I think putting Sting into that match, really, kept the number up for the WWE Network. I haven't seen it revealed yet, but I really do feel that the talk that surrounded Sting, wrestling in this match was something that everybody had to see this match one way or another. There was always this rumor about what Sting was going to do at WrestleMania 32. Was he going to be the WWE Hall of Famer? Were they going to keep him on the active roster and actually, put him into a match? And as of this writing, the plan that is in the Wrestling Observer was that once Vince McMahon blew up the WrestleMania 32 card and started moving things around, the one thing that was on the card was Sting versus Bray Wyatt. Sting versus Bray Wyatt was a match that some people talked about might have happened at SummerSlam this year. Some people thought that that they would go with this sort of a match, but it ended up being the Roman Reigns Dean Ambrose pairing going up against the Wyatts, which led to people thinking that it was going to become a six-man with Sting being involved in this, that, or the other. Definitely Sting has this Crow character, which doesn't really have a dark side to it. If you really break down what it was, basically what Sting is that when he started the Crow gimmick, was he thought that his friends had turned against him because the NWO had planted a fake Sting. So basically he became a free agent. He stopped doing the bleach blonde hair. He stopped painting the neon faces. He went with the black and white because it mostly portrayed him as being a part of the NWO like WCW thought he was going to, but he was the guy who stepped out of the rafters and was able to come to Starrcade and actually beat Hogan and take the championship off him. If WCW was smart, that's where the NWO angle would have came to a close or would have came to close of an end, but instead the NWO angle continued until WCW's dying days. The Sting thing is always remembered as one of WCW's biggest matches, but never really looked at as what it could have been if it actually would have been the end of the NWO and Sting would have been the guy to actually put the nail in the coffin on these guys. Taking the championship, keeping it from him, maybe booking a match the next month where he put the title on the line in a rematch against Hulk if the NWO disbanded and was never able to come back together. That's what I would have done. But Sting versus Bray, honestly, when it comes down to it, is something that doesn't really move the needle for me. It doesn't really make it where WrestleMania 32 is a must-see match. Definitely, Sting moved the needle for WrestleMania 31, wrestling against Triple H. It was a match that they put things into it with the him coming in and messing up the match at Survivor Series, him coming in and messing up the match before the Royal Rumble. Sting and Triple H had to face off at Fastlane. And, people really wanted to see this match. Sting didn't do a lot to push the match against Seth Rollins. He came out of a box on Monday Night Raw. He threw a statue in a trash can. And, that was just about it, and people cared. But honestly, for the third time out, Sting against Bray, I'm not 100% sure that it would have been a big one. So, I don't know. With the injury, I'm thinking that Sting more than likely wrestled his last match, at least for WWE. And, I would love to see Sting go into the Hall of Fame. I would love to see, well, they already have the Sting DVD in the works to come out as a documentary. That was one of the big things that I wanted for Sting to come. And if it's not going to be Sting versus Taker, I think you just say that's it, call it a day, and ride off into the Hall of Fame and say see you later.